It was Friday evening when Jesus' body was laid in the garden tomb. The next day was the Sabbath, when no Jews may work. Pilate ordered an armed guard on the tomb, so nobody could steal the body. The long hours passed slowly for Jesus' heartbroken friends. They could not believe that the Master they loved so much lay cold in the tomb. "Once the Sabbath is over, we'll take sweet-smelling spices to put on his body," the women agreed. But that night, Mary Magdalene could not sleep. It was dark when she made her way with several of the other women to the garden. As they came close to the tomb, they saw with horror that the big round stone that closed the cave's mouth had been moved. Someone must have tampered with the grave and stolen Jesus' body. The women ran back to find Peter and poured out the tale to him, then hurried on to tell John. Both men set off to see for themselves. John, who was younger, ran faster and arrived first. By now there was enough light to peer inside. The linen wrappings lay tidily on the rock shelf, but the body had gone. As John looked, everything that Jesus had taught them clicked into place. Of course! Jesus was alive! When Peter's heavy steps were heard, John stood aside and Peter went right in. He too saw the grave clothes and the headcloth lying on its own, but he shook his head, bewildered, and they left the garden. But Mary stayed alone, silent tears coursing down her cheeks, as she too gazed into the tomb. 2 shining angels were sitting where Jesus' body had been. "Why are you crying?" they asked. But Mary sensed that someone was behind her, and she half turned, to see a man she thought must be the gardener. Perhaps he could help her. "Why are you crying?" the newcomer asked. "Because my Lord's body has gone. Have you moved it, sir?" she said. "Mary," the stranger said. Mary wheeled round to face the one whose voice she knew and loved so well. It was Jesus! "Tell my disciples that I have risen, and that I'm on my way to the one who is my Father, and their Father too." Mary ran back through the morning sunshine, all fear and sadness gone. She burst in on the huddled group of disciples. "He's alive! He really is alive!" she announced with joy.